We the Brown Boys. The Brown Boys. The Brown Boys. We the Brown Boys. The Brown Boys. We the Brown Boys.
But listen, we're about to get into a video where Corey Holcomb is responding to what he says is an assassination attempt. I never heard these clips that they're putting out about what Corey Holcomb has said in some of his stand-up. I don't agree with any of the things that he said in the stand-up. I don't understand comedy like that. As a little bitty boy, I used to get slapped in the back of the head because I was always that type. As y'all can see, based on how I maneuver on the internet, I was always that type that wondered why certain people could say certain things and then I couldn't say it. All the adults would be saying certain stuff. I would be that kid that walk in the room and repeat right what they said. And then I'd be like, hey, I'd be like, but you said it. Hey, don't say what I say. You a kid. They ushered me off. But I was always wondering why certain people could say certain things. Richard Pryor and certain comedians, as I became a teenager, I would copy certain things that I would see adults watching and laughing at, and it'd get me slapped in the back of the head. Not the slap that you follow through, just a little to make you bam, you know, get you back in order. You must have done bumped your head, so let me bump it again to get it back in order. And so I realized, oh, okay, I get it now. Y'all are adults and comedians, and certain people get to say certain things. So I never agreed that you should be able to label somebody something and that person can say it, but then you could be mad at another person for saying the exact same thing. I never understood how people rationalize that, but that's been the way of the world for so long that comedians have had a little bit tip of a scale on what they can say and who dubs you a comedian. I guess my mama always made sure I know you're not a comedian, but Corey Holcomb, be that as it may, he's a comedian. So there's lots of comedians. They've joked about grape, white and black. They've joked about all sorts of things that no one should joke about. I don't even understand how you have this type of humor. But they're not, are we now going to drag all of those people out and put them on trial? Or are we only doing this because Corey Holcomb says things about people in Hollywood that are sneaking and doing things that maybe they don't want him to talk about? So it's going to be for you guys to decide. It's not for me to decide. I understand that when you're saying something against the go along, get along gang, as I like to call them, they're going to run a smear campaign because guess what, guys? It's all about who we like. When they switch that button, you can go from everybody liking you to the entire world or your driving force of your audience, your core force of your audience. If you're not connected to grassroots people that you build organically, the mainstream, it's the switch of a button with them. Joe Buttons heard Nicki Minaj say something he didn't like. Flick of a button. Don't call me no more. And that's how these relationships are in Hollywood. It's very superficial. They see you, I love you, I care about you, this isn't it. They don't never actually call you to see if you're okay. They tell you that when they see you for the photo op when people are around, but then when no one's around, they don't give a fuck. And as soon as the story and the media flip on you about anything or say something that's against the mainstream narrative, because majority of the people make their money through mainstream and through companies and sponsorships, they're easily controlled. And so you guys are following people that's controlled by the one thing that you're not supposed to worship or be controlled by, which is money. Because these men and women only use their likeness, their image and likeness, their celebrity in order to garner funds, they're essentially allowing themselves to be placed on a hamster wheel, and somebody controls whether they can be opened up and fed now based on what they say and who they align with, or does the door close and you cannot be fed? And it's only because most celebrities don't do business in real life. All they do is leverage their celebrity, get a lot of checks, a lot of money until that celebrity dwindles down or you say the wrong thing. Now you're on the wrong side of said celebrity, and then now you're broke, you're destitute, and you'll do anything to get back in grace. And then we'll see people take advantage of you like Harvey Weinstein and all these men that love people when exactly. And that's why I think it and I got to say it like this because I'm on my main channel, but we're going to have a Patreon. I keep saying that and then I don't do it. So I'm not going to curse it. I'm just going to do it. But y'all better not be laughing in the chat. Well, serious, don't laugh. Now let's get to the video to where this brother is saying things that I don't necessarily agree with at all. But again, are we going to go back, white and black comedians, and grade them on a scale where we're going to make it seem like they're PDF files? Is that what we're doing? Because if so, you opening up Pandora's box. If not, then comedians get to say things that are risque and weird, and then we appreciate the good jokes, and then we stay away from the ones that we don't like. Or we pull all comedians back, put them on center stage, and let's start picking apart the things that they've said, and let's start saying that they're PDF files. That's what we're going to do. But let's see what you guys think. It's not always about what I think. Let's get it. The original content is on Corey Holcomb's, but the clips that I'm using is from a YouTuber named Kato Media, Kato Media 2.0. So shout out to the brother. I didn't want to watch the whole 2 hours and 17 minutes. So this clip was kind of what I saw, and I thought it was the original one. So I said, I'll use this. Then I'll find the part in the original one, do a part 2. So let's get it. Fair use. Let's go. Wait, let's go.
Situation between him and Darlene. Now, Darlene said she went to the bathroom. She did not get fired, but she also stated that Corey apologized for the t-shirt situation. But why did he apologize? I'm just saying, if he felt that strongly about you not holding the shirt up, the apology should be just as loud as the disrespect. But hey.
Well, I think what he means by that, the apology should be public, just like the disrespect was public. But that's the thing about getting into what people personal situation is. They have a business and a personal relationship. Anybody that has watched them interact on the show know that. That's why I reserved my commentary to after I saw what she was going to do, because we as men can say whatever, but women, they like what they like. And certain men, they don't like a straight lace. Most of you straight lace, I wouldn't do that type of dude. None of them girls ain't gonna give you the time of day anyway. Most of these women like edgy men. And let me pull this out. And not to say what he did was correct, but again, people are allowed to make mistakes and get back in the line of that person's respect. However, that person accept that respect. You see, she's back on the show. So at the end of the day, we all got so much commentary on someone else's life. Shout out to Darlene. She's back there, so salute to that, because we like the show. And hopefully they could get back to the show, because we all like the show. Prior to Harvey Levin and all these things went on, we like the show.
Darlene said y'all taking things out of context. Now, Poetic Flacco, man, when you put a jacket on somebody by calling them a pedophile, man, that's pretty dangerous. But I'm not going to lie, man. These Corey Holcomb compilation videos that I've been seeing are wild. Let's play a few of them.
This past weekend, I saw this little girl. She had a Welch's grape juice bottle in her mouth. And she was about 5. She had the whole bottle, as far as it'll go, just sucking on it. Walking with her mouth. Somebody said, get that out of her mouth. When they took it out of her mouth, that baby said, you know when she stopped crying? When a man picked her up and put her in her lap and started bouncing with her. Then she stopped crying and was looking like this. I say, that's a little growing right there. And everybody will say, Corey, what are you talking about? Corey, you crazy. Get the out of here. This little girl was in her bliss with her mouth wide open. She was just, it had the cap on it and everything. They took it out of her mouth. Then a man picked her up and started shaking her on his knee. And she was like, I said, that's a little. It's just Corey Holcomb crazy. I almost want to go back and ask about that little girl and do a documentary on her life. So one day I can show I know what I'm talking about. But in this society, I'm a bad guy. That ain't nothing no little girl do unless she has the urge to do things like that. She has the urge to be satisfied. But ain't nobody gonna beat me. Corey bad. Corey bad. Everybody, Corey, did you hear what Corey said? The little girl took the bottle out of her mouth and he said she gonna be a whore. Yes. And if there was more men in the house, the little daughters wouldn't be walking around with things preparing their jaw for hustle. Her jaw is being prepared for hustle. And this was a little girl.
Her teeth aren't.
Baby Goobler. I like that. Oh, quick, that happened to me for real. One day I was living with this lady and her daughters crawled in the bed and I ain't have on shit.
Yeah.
I was up under the cover.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit. And one of her daughters was like, her daughter was she was in high school. I think she was 15. Still not legal. You just can't tell your true thoughts. Her daughter was gonna be thick like her mama. I know that man.
Yeah.
I knew her daughter was a bust down. She got pregnant like a year after I moved out. She was 16. I knew she was gonna get pregnant, because she used to do shit. She used to do shit to let me know, damn, this bitch is trying to get me in trouble.
Oh.
Her name was Tiffany. Right. All of y'all kids.
Yeah, she has a documentary.
Kids, that's the best. I'm saying you gotta watch around your kids.
Jesus Christ.
Can you get charged if you seeing a child get rocked back and forth to comfort and your mind goes to bedroom positions? You are a disturbed human being. Calling a child hoe for doing things that kids do is disturbing. You are
yeah, you don't have to be no 18. That's the best. I'm saying that's the best.
All right, man, I'm not gonna lie. It definitely looks like a play. Now, before we get into this video, man, you know my saying. Make sure you push up on that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, so you know when your boy's dropping. Let's get into the details.
Now let's get to this next soft shit.
Whoa, Nelly. We can all say that. We would not say stuff like that. I would like to see the stand-up version or the real version of what he was saying in context and not clips. But of course, I wouldn't say no shit like that. I don't understand bouncing a kid on a knee and thinking like that. I don't understand none of that. But again, comedians have always been able to push the envelope of what is said and what's a joke. I do think he mixed in a lot of uncomfortable truths in with his commentary. And that's why people like him in the hood, because he's being real. And some people in the mainstream can't stomach him because they don't like ugly truths being exposed. Because in a single mother-led household, when he made that joke about him being under the covers and he's having sex with a woman, he's naked and the little girl comes in. You look at statistics, a lot of that happens where the guys that come home from jail, the guys that mess with the mother end up messing with the daughter. That happens a lot in the hood. So when he says stuff like that, people don't get offended because then they think back to real life and reality and they see that this happens in their neighborhood. So they're like, Corey's a real one, instead of, oh, he's a sicko. He's not saying that this is a great thing to do, but that does happen. And so people don't like that ugly truth because it exposed things. Without some male protection, men are going to be around these little girls. And that's sad. Because there's some men that make a bad decision and they're not joking. They get these young girls pregnant. They do a lot of these things. So, but that first joke about the baby and the bottle, I don't understand that. I'm not a comedian. So the man can stand on his own words. He can explain that himself. But do you throw the baby out with the bathwater? Because if that's what you're doing, if you're going to cancel Corey, then we're going to have to dig back in some files of your favorite comedians. And what you will find is that every comedian has said something that you will say, whoa, I can't deal with this person no more, because that's what they do. The great comedians always push that envelope. So just saying, if you're going to cancel him, boy, you better get a long list of canceling, and it's going to expose your hypocrisy. Trust me, it will.